Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming. Welcome to Xiao's Violin Studio. I'm giving tutorials for a few pieces. Hopefully I can help you. Today I'm very excited to show you how to practice Vivaldi Violin Concerto in A minor, the first movement. The edition that I'm using is the one in Suzuki Book 4, although I have also been using the text edition as well. They're approximately the same, only a few notes, very little difference in some articulations. So just use this one. I'm going to sectionize this piece to 4 different sections. If you have the music in front of you, that would be wonderful. So each time you see the word tutti, that's when I will mark as one section. So each tutti will follow by a solo section. Tutti section is when a violinist soloist play with the ensemble. And during the solo time, is the soloist play. Of course, the violinists play by themselves, while the ensemble is playing only accompaniment parts. And again, when the tutti parts, you play the same as everyone else. So I will stop in the first section and I'll show you a few things. That's the first section. I would like you to practice for the left hand. This is one of the first major concerto a young student will start that involve third position. And it's very easy. If you think third position, it's just another floor that your left hand is going to live from now. It's your new home. You must sense it's a home for you. So I'd like you to practice something like this. This is your first position. So by now your first position is very comfortable. You feel like home, and when your hand put it up here, you can play the B on A string and all these notes, you can just sense them. And now I'd like you to sense the same thing, same feeling and same security when it comes to the third position. So you simply go, the third position is that, you see how the wrist is this way, nice and straight? And when your wrist just comfortably, gently touching the body of the violin, without moving, altering any of the shape of your left hand, that is your third position. If you alter it forward, that is your fourth position. So do nothing different. First, third, 1, 3, 1, 3. So you have, when you play, you go. Actually, I made a mistake. Play an F natural, first finger, because in this piece you have F naturals. So your first finger is down here. What I told my student is in a flat position. It's a little bit stretching back. You go F natural, and then first finger A. and you just back and forth, it's okay to be out of tune. Your ears will guide your left hand and you will play in tune, but must feel like your entire hand is moved to a new place. Just like you're moving your home, the whole family is moving from this to this. Don't leave your thumb behind. You don't need to stretch the fourth finger in any way. Some students think they have to stretch because they're in the third position. Don't do anything unusual. Should be very comfortable. So after you practice that, and then you go, and you drop your hand, and you find that A out of nowhere. Now that's out of tune. Then you analyze it. Was that too high or too low? That was too sharp. And therefore, you do it again until it's in tune. And that's a good way to practice. The first section, that was the left hand. On the right hand, the music is very repetitive, but we must feel a little direction. So it's like very hilly. There's you going up, you come down, you go up, you come down, and that's what makes music very interesting. And I'm going to show you a little bit of what I mean. After the up bow, you have 5 A's coming up. Can you make them as if they're going forward? In another sense, make it a little louder. These 5 A's not the same flatness. And this is what they're supposed to sound like. No. Can you tell the difference? It's just how you feel. If you feel it, you will play it. And the next thing is these 3 notes are upbeats. They are not downbeats. No, it's so you're going on to the next beat. Here is your downbeat. All right. So a little bit of crescendo and don't accent on the open A. This bow, make sure we hold 2, 3. Now let's go on to the section number 2. That is in the middle of measure 21. I will play through once. With this second section, there is a middle. You can see the middle of the section. There are lots of 16th notes continuously for about 3.5 lines. During this time, make sure your left hand dropping is very decisive and quick, and so is lifting. Simply because you don't have a lot of time to sound that one particular note, and it's one note after another. You don't have a lot of time for placement. So make sure the right hand and the left hand really meet when the note you're already securely sinking into that perfect pitch note. So you don't, when you drop faster, it will arrive onto that pitch of the note a lot quicker. So the action of your left hand being quick is very important. And the right hand, you have the second, third, and fourth note are identical. So you make sure your right hand is very loose, very relaxed, and you are playing. The small action, but very quick. Just make sure that these wrists, these main joints and the wrist really works nice and quickly. Don't get stuck. Not to use the entire arm, but just here for those few notes. So if you focus the hand here, there's a lot of joint movement. So you actually move a lot cleaner for the sound. And when you practice this part, notice how I added an extra note before the shift, and I call that note a little scaffold, a little phantom note, a little ladder to help you get to that third position, fourth finger. It's very important when you shift to use that first finger to build that little ladder and get you up to a third position. So your third position feels very secure, and you just drop your fourth finger, and that is where your note is. Not to jump from 1 to a 4 without any ladder in between. I'm gonna do it slowly, and you can see my fingers. So that note is what I call it the phantom note, or the ladder note. So when you play fast, this note's still there, except you won't hear it. So you hear a little bit only by yourself, and that gives you such a security. And practice that slowly, and just, if that scaffold note, ladder note is in tune, it pretty much guarantees that your fourth finger is gonna be in tune. The next section has quite a bit of a string crossing, and I'm gonna go through that, and that is in the middle of bar 35 on. Towards the end, especially the measure 49 on, for the next few measures, you have 3 string crossing in a succession very quickly. Actually, there are 3 string crossings, not just so you have to come back. So involve 4 notes, in fact. Make sure you cross before you hit the note. So the action must be really quick, and it has to be there before you sound the note. As soon as one note finishes, the end of that bow should end in the new string. Not to end and then cross, and then cross. So that's where you end. That's where you end. And there. All right, so that just make sure your right hand is really in lead when it comes to string crossing. Of course, left hand also need to catch up as well, so your note is there. All of these need to be there before you pull the string, before you pronounce the sound. And that makes it a little bit more difficult, and it's worth the practice. The 4th section, the last page of the piece, consists a lot of 16th notes. And again, make sure your right hand is relaxed. So lots of small movements so the slur can sound very clean. And left hand drop and lift as fast as you can. It's good to practice smaller sections over and over until they are secure and the fingering is very, very secure. And here is the last section of the Vivaldi Violin Concerto in A minor, 1st movement.